Hi, class. Welcome back. It's Dr. Lindner. What we're going to be talking about in this short video is the epidermis, right? When we look at the skin, we know that we have this upper layer called the epidermis. Then there's a layer deep to it called the dermis, and all the way at the bottom is the hypodermis. When we look at the epidermis, there are five distinct layers, and strata means layers. And you can see from superficial to deep, we've got one, two, three, four, five layers where we have thick skin. So where we have thick skin, it's going to be over the palms, right? The palmar surface of your digits and the soles of the feet. And usually where we have thick skin, there's no hair. It's hairless. Then there's parts of the body that have thinner skin, which is usually have hair. So it covers all the body regions except the palms, the palmar surface of the digits, and the soles. So when we have thick skin, we're going to have these five layers in areas of which we only have thin skin. This layer is not included, the lucidum layer. So we have thick skin, it's all five. If it's thin, we're going to remove layer two. So from superficial to deep, we have a little silly mnemonic that Cher loves getting skin Botox. Cher loves getting skin Botox. Stratum corneum, stratum lucidum, granulosum, spinosum, and basal layer. Now, sometimes the basal layer is also referred to as the germinativum because it's the germinative layer where we have stem cells. And you could see down in that basal layer, it looks like there's cellular division that's happening down here. And these cells multiply and divide, and they push up in this direction until you get to the top layer where we have just dead keratinocytes, which is the stratum corneum. And this layer is made up of like 30 to 50 layers of stratified squamous epithelium that slough off. So again, from superficial to deep or deep to superficial, this is just another picture showing those same layers. The epidermis is the top five layers microscopically, the stratum corneum, the stratum lucidum, lucid means clear, stratum granulosum, granular, see all these granules here, spinosum because it looks spiny, and then the stratum basal layer, which looks like the basement, basal, the basement, where we have all these stem cells down here. And you could see that there's a variety of other type of cells throughout those layers. We have melanocytes, we have tactile epithelial cells, we have macrophages, these immune cells, and the most abundant, of course, the keratinocytes. So the stratum corneum, this is composed of dead cells. It's got a hard protein envelope, and the cells contain keratin, and they are surrounded by fats or lipids. The stratum lucidum, also dead cells containing keratohyalin, another type of protein. The stratum granulosum, this is the highest level where this is the level that the cells start to actually die off. Okay, it's the highest level where there's living cells and they start to degenerate and die. Okay, that's the granulosum. It's made of the keratin, the keratohyalin, and a hard protein envelope that forms here. And there are these little grainy, lamellar, grainy bodies that release these fats and these lipids to try and keep the skin a little bit more on the moist side. Then we have the spinosum, the stratum spinosum, which is made up of keratin fibers and also lamellar bodies that start to accumulate. And all the way at the bottom is the stratum basal layer. This is where we have cellular division that's taking place. Okay. And these cells multiply and divide, and they start to push up, up, up till we get to the top layer. And it typically is about a 30-day journey or a 4-week journey to get to the top. Other people have an accelerated rate where it could take 5 days to 7 days for the cells to migrate upward and they slough off quickly. We typically call that autoimmune condition psoriasis. Again, these are the layers, and then we have the description of what takes place in each of those layers. So you can read those on your own time. We pretty much covered them in the last few slides anyway. Okay, when we come back, we'll get into the dermis.